Demon Seed.
Broadcast, you must be mistaken.
It's now, it's here.
Come on down here and help with this.
Demon Seed.
Paranormal existence.
You mean to say you came here purposely?
The first move in the great conspiracy had been made.
I'll do the classic. I'll do the classic intro.
I'm good to go.
I'll do the classic intro.
I think it's kind of the point of the podcast. We're 3 in now.
Yeah.
Where we can have roles, and I think yours should be doing the intro.
Okay, I'll do the first one.
And I think I trust you to do that. I'd like you to do that.
Okay, here we go. Welcome, traveller. Come, take your seat next to the fire. Warm yourself. Remove your socks, your pants, perhaps your trousers, even your top. Maybe take everything off. For here we are comfortable in the world of the paranormal. What do you think of that as an opener?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to retract my previous statement about you doing all the intros.
But I mean, that was strong.
I mean, it's good, but we're going for like a family-friendly
But I think the idea is you need to
podcast, and
you have to paint a picture.
Take their clothes off,
yeah,
right off the top.
But you know, if
that's coming hot on the heels of you basically getting a ghost to bum me in the last episode.
That was very strong because the response was incredibly powerful. At least 3 people, said they wanted that to happen to them. I know one guy, he bought a vacuum cleaner, put it on reverse, and blew some air up himself so he could recreate what it's like.
Yeah,
to feel.
If you listen to this and you're intellectually subnormal, don't do it.
Put a vacuum cleaner up your bottom.
I'm going to shut my door, John, because it's not poltergeist. It's just my door's open and closing right there.
How do you know? See, this is the thing. This is what's great about. There you go. You heard that noise in the background.
Yeah, that's me shutting the door that was previously ajar.
Yeah, and why was it open? Why do you think?
Well, that's how I got in. I opened the door, walked into the room the traditional way.
Yeah.
And I hadn't closed it properly.
Had we not conjured up the spirits? Had we not done that?
Well, I'm in a bar and it's full of spirits.
There you go. It begins. So it begins.
But,
I've witnessed things throughout my life, Mike, and I've been lucky enough to witness some of those things in the presence of incredibly famous people. I've met some incredibly famous people.
Well, you have actually, haven't you? I mean, especially in your band days.
Yeah, I stood next to Paul McCartney on one occasion.
Wow. He still talks about it, I think.
Yeah, he's still to this day will mention that. I sat on the same table as Kraftwerk, which was very exciting. The German.
That was of course. The model and all the other stuff.
Yeah, all that
German sort of.
That was
techno
great.
Music from the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, and one of my.
She's a model and it's understood.
The one of my favourite memories. Wasn't
another Kraftwerk song?
What about
the model
this?
Was the big one, wasn't it?
Tour de France. That's quite a good one. Do you know that one?
I haven't heard that one. What's it about?
It's bikes or something. I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay.
But that's quite a good one. But throughout the years, I've met many fantastic people. I once met a dancing dog on a pilot for a television show that never happened. But one of the people that I would have loved to have met, and someone that I think you would love to meet, would be. Well, let's play a little guessing game. He's from the TV.
I'm 49, John.
Come on.
I'm 49 years of age.
Come on. Let's play a little guessing game. A person we would both like to meet. I'll give you a little clue. He's
alive or dead?
Dead. Clearly dead.
James Garner?
No. Less hair.
Elvis?
Less hair.
Telly Salavlis?
Yes, straight in. Psychic powers. Look at that. Unity through the two combining.
Is it Telly Salavlis?
It is Telly Salavlis. It is Telly Salavlis.
Shut up, it's not, you liar.
It is Telly Salavlis. And today, Michael, I unleash...
Freak me out now.
Yeah, one of the most fascinating cases of the paranormal involving none other than Telly Salavlis.
Have you changed the name of him to make this work for him?
I have not changed any of the facts. I've done not a thing to this. I have not bastardized this. I've done some heavy research on the deep web. I've gone deeper than most people would go when they're going on.
Now, I'll warn you now, right? That almost... Imagine you're Derek Acora and I'm someone trying to out you as a fake. Right?
Yeah.
I know a lot about Telly Salavlis because I'm a big Kojak fan.
Oh,
I'm a big Telly Salavlis fan.
This is great because before we go anywhere, there may be 1 or 2 listeners, just a few, just a handful, who've not heard. I mean, people under 45 who may not have heard of Telly Savalas. So maybe you'd like to just give a quick rundown of TV's favourite detective.
Telly Savalas, a Greek-American actor, played a lot of black and white films and early films after the war. Decorated war hero as well.
Yeah,
in the Second World War.
He did a lot of decorating during the war.
Yeah. Aristotle Savalas is probably best known for the absolute smash hit cop show from, I suppose, 74 to about 79, Kojak, when he plays Theo Kojak, a no-nonsense Manhattan detective. Very few people realise that Stavros, who's his hangdog, curly-haired co-worker for the police department, is his real-life brother, George Savalas.
That's right.
Interesting fact about Telly Savalas is that when he made his money, he paid for his home island in the Greek islands to be put on the electricity grid. He actually financed it. So he brought electricity to his family, his ancestral home. Also, he lived in a hotel for the last 2 or 3 years of his life in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They changed the name of the hotel bar to Telly's Bar, which I think is brilliant.
Nice.
And he had his own chair. He'd sit there every day and have a drink.
Little fact.
Style icon.
Well, one of the before I go into this, one of the other lesser known facts about Telly Savalas, when he was young as a struggling actor, he just couldn't get the roles, and he was trying all of the theatres to do a bit of the old acting. He was trying to get on commercials, couldn't do it, and someone suggested that he did a bit sexy stuff, and he didn't. He said no. I said, I'm not doing the sexy stuff because that's he's a man of honour.
No, a sexy man, but.
Yeah, but what he did is he thought, I do need to make some money, so he drew a line across the middle of his head and pretended it was a bum and took photos of that and sold it, and he made over $75,000 in a week, and he nearly went down that shady lane of porn, but he got out of it when one of the people who he sold the photo of his bum head to was the director and producer of the Kojak series.
Well.
So there you go. So we are about to delve.
Of course, what's interesting is in his film career, he didn't have a shaved head. He was losing his hair, so he shaved it off for a role, and then he just kept it off.
So is he in any films with hair on?
Yeah. I think he's in The Greatest Story Ever Told. I think he plays a Roman with hair, and he's in several films with hair. Yeah, not much hair. Looks like sort of Gordon Kay type of hair, you know what I mean?
Yes.
From a low. That sort of level of hirsuteness.
Nice. And that's a nice look. And as you know, we all love and adore the work of Gordon Kay. Lesser known outside of the UK, but of course a classic actor who played a great role in the TV show Hello, Hello.
Well, Google it. If you're in America, Google Hello, Hello.
Hello. Renee was the character he played.
Yeah.
But let's not sort of stray away from today's fantastic mystery. Let's go straight into it. Telly Savalas, the late great Telly Savalas, is most certainly not the type of personality one would associate with anything of a supernatural nature. I think you can agree on that, Mike. Charismatic.
I don't know with the Greeks. They're a very spiritual, very superstitious bunch, aren't they?
That's true. But I mean,
there is an episode of Kojak where he's basically dealing with a psychic, I believe.
What happens?
Palm reader.
Does he
I can't remember. Someone gets killed.
Okay, well that's fine. Charismatic.
He's a homicide detective, so that people get killed every episode, to be honest. Apart from one, there's one episode where no one gets killed.
Is that like the love episode?
Well, no, she gets. There's a serial killer about, and she gets abducted, and he kills the friend.
Yeah,
but the female star of it is not killed because Kojak gets there in the nick of time.
Does he kick anyone in, or
he gives the fella a bit of a pasting?
Right,
who's been going around killing people? Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you would really, wouldn't you? You know, I mean, if you say a serial killer kidnaps your wife, Mike, do you give him a bit of a pasting, or do you stamp him to death?
I would definitely kill him. I haven't decided on the method of death.
Yeah. I'd stamp him to death.
You know.
I actually had tie him to a chair and poison him very
Well,
slowly.
you're not married though, are you? Because you've never got married.
No, but I'm with my missus though, so it's the same thing. It's just there's been no party.
Yeah, but I mean, you've never committed. You haven't. You know, you're not prepared to make that commitment in front of God and your friends.
I don't believe in God, and I don't really want to have a party with people I don't like. So
Have any friends?
Yeah. Okay.
That's fair enough.
Charismatic, straight
Why don't you just go to like Gretna Green?
Yeah.
And just get married there, just you two.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, either way, I'm still willing to do a murder if that is any help.
Oh, okay, well, that's fair enough.
Okay. Charismatic, straight-talking, and with talent in abundance, Salavlis became a household name from the 1970s onwards for his masterful portrayal of the New York detective Kojak.
I can't believe you actually picked Kojak for real. That's funny.
This is a fantastic story. Revered
I
throughout
could see
Hollywood.
your eyes down Zoom, and I thought, oh.
Straight off. It's just there, isn't it?
Well, it was third choice. You said less hair. I got it.
And then you got to it,
It was going to be that or Duncan Goodhue, to be honest.
Yeah, which I do know something about Duncan Goodhue, but I can't talk about that. No, actually, I'm talking about who's the gardener on Blue Peter?
Oh, Percy Thrower.
Percy. I know a story about Percy Thrower, but it's shocking, and I can't. I'm sworn to never tell anyone. But the way he died,
Duncan Goodhue.
I confused the two because there were rumours about him as well. But there were the way
You confuse the elderly, grey-haired gardener.
Yeah. From Blue Peter.
Kids entertainment program from the 1970s.
Yeah.
With a 1980s leading British bald swimmer.
Yeah. Not because of the way they look, Mike, but because of the way they died. And I'm sworn to secrecy over that. That's a showbiz secret that
Duncan Goodhue's still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe he's alive and well, and he's in his mid-50s.
Yeah, exactly. And that is why I'm sworn to keep that a secret. And that is a showbiz secret I'll never let out.
Okay. You're a man of principles.
Yeah. Kojak, revered throughout Hollywood and beyond, the world-famous actor, singer and celebrity, passed on in January 1994. However, it's a curious tale from the late 1950s, which catches our attention here, Michael.
And what I'm about to tell you is true if you want to hear it.
I do want to hear.
You do want to hear it, then I'll tell you. I was never superstitious.
I'll give you a ride.
But then something happened in my life which scared the hell out of me. And for something like that to happen to me is something that I can't understand to this day. God knows how many years ago. Let me think now.
The story involves Salavlis' bizarre experience when driving home from a social event in Long Island during the small hours. Accounts vary as to where he'd been, but Salavlis became stranded on a lonely stretch of highway after his car ran out of petrol, or gas, as it's known in sort of America, that part of the world, just so you know.
Gasoline.
Yeah. Pondering his rueful situation, he decided to leave his vehicle and seek out a service station.
I go into this White Castle restaurant. I says, is there a gas station open? He says, yeah. He says, you walk through the woods there. He says, get on the Grand Central Parkway, take it to the Cross Island Parkway. He says, and the gas station there open all night. Okay. So I am, start walking through the woods, a wooded area, not the woods, going up, and as I'm doing that, I hear a voice say, I'll give you a ride. I turn around, and there's this guy in the Cadillac. And I didn't hear the Cadillac.
The actor recounted how the driver of the car...
Hang on now. Hang on.
Okay.
Before we go any further.
Yeah.
Is this where he drops him off at a service station, and then he describes the bloke who picked him up to someone in the service station and say, oh, that person died on that stretch of road X number of years ago. That urban myth, is it?
Let's just see what happens, because we don't know that yet.
Okay.
We don't know that yet.
Just that urban myth has been around for a long time. And people change and the venue changes and the length of time changes, but that is always essentially the same story. Isn't it?
Well, let's just you know.
Okay,
let's just,
I'm open-minded, but just saying.
Okay. The actor recounted how the driver of the car appeared to be rather unusual and spoke in a curiously high-pitched and unnerving tone.
I'll give you a ride.
Nonetheless, he persevered with this rather eccentric nocturnal Samaritan, collected petrol at the station, and accepted a ride back to his abandoned vehicle.
We started driving back to my car to put the gas in the car, and I thought that was very nice of him. And then of the clear blue sky, he says, I know, I'm not going to mention the name, I know so-and-so. And it's a baseball player. We weren't talking baseball. Oh, I said, who's he? He says, well, he's a
utility infielder for the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, it's so bizarre that he would say it in the spookiest voice I ever heard. He kept driving, get to my car, put the gasoline in. He pushes me to get it started, My car starts. I thank him very much. All in all, it's a very lovely experience to meet someone to help you out like that. No incident whatsoever.
The mysterious driver even left Salavlis a few dollars, which in this country they're known as pounds, to pay for the fuel.
Yeah.
And feeling very embarrassed, the actor requested his name and telephone number so that he could return the funds to him in due course.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes.
Yeah, nothing too strange there. I think you'll all agree. We've all been to strangers' cars, and we've all gotten out of them.
Yeah.
And we've gotten back into our cars. I mean, can you give me an example of a time you got into a stranger's car?
I've done it lots of times, but you shouldn't do it now.
Yeah.
When I lived in Switzerland, I would quite regularly hitchhike from where I was teaching into Montreal.
Yeah.
And then have a few drinks and then hitchhike back, but it's not advisable.
Yeah. Well, I was walking home once and a man asked me to get in his car, and I did. And he said, do you want to buy a watch? And I said no. And he kept me there for 45 minutes trying to get me to buy a watch. I didn't buy it.
How old are you?
45. So,
Pardon.
Salavlis returned to work the next day and quickly forgot about the events of the previous evening until he happened to notice a headline on the front page of a local newspaper. The story was about the sudden death of an up-and-coming baseball star.
So-and-so, dead. The guy he mentioned in that very spooky voice, age 20-some-odd, young ball player, under very mysterious circumstances. Autopsy and all that stuff. I said, God, what a frightening coincidence. I go home and I says, hey, Ma, isn't that funny? My mother, I think, was part witch. I explained it to her. She says, well, yeah, Telly, strange things that do happen. I said, but. And then I remembered that he gave me a piece of paper for me to send a buck to. I look at it, and there besides the address is a telephone number.
And Mike, before we go any further, have you ever been involved in some sort of event that has involved a mysterious or disturbing twist?
Not really. I don't think so. Mysterious, no.
Yeah.
Disturbing, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I on one occasion I went to Birmingham International Airport once.
Right.
And I got there expecting to get a flight to Ireland. We were off to do a gig at a festival. But little did I know, but before we even checked in, when we got to the front of the airport, in some of the flower beds near the area where people were smoking, I found a 1 litre bottle of water with a battery-powered willy gaffer taped to it.
All right.
What do you think of that? Disturbing?
I imagine someone ditched it on the way to a plane or something.
Mysterious?
Certainly also, you couldn't take it on these days.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you could take on the willy or the water. Certainly you can take on the water if it was more than 250 ml.
But why were they gaffer taped together? You know, think about that.
Well, because you want a bit of sexy time when you get thirsty afterwards, and it's, why take 2 bottles into the shower? That's what they should say on the old.
That's true.
Head and Shoulders, isn't it?
That's true.
Wash and go, is it?
Well,
was Wash and Go? Was Head and Shoulders Wash and Go a type of shampoo, or were Head and Shoulders and Wash and Go two different types of shampoo?
Well, I'm thinking when a bra fits just like this, you say "Bravo, cross your heart," which is a bra, and that's nothing to do with.
No, it's not. Yeah, and like Bisto is just Bisto, isn't it?
Yeah, you know. Anyway, on phoning the handwritten number, Salavlis was greeted by
the growing up spread you never grow out of.
That's what is that? Marmite?
Is it?
Yeah. Finger of fudge is just enough. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, just thinking.
Take it or leave it. Sorry.
Finger of fudge is just enough to give the kids a treat. We all know that, don't we?
Yeah. It's full of Cadbury goodness, and very small and neat.
Exactly.
A miles a day helps you work, rest, and play.
It does. Well, they had to stop saying that, didn't they? Because it doesn't. It just gives you diabetes.
Yeah.
So
Tooth decay.
you know, if it said a miles a day gives you diabetes and tooth decay, it would have
Miles
worked.
a day gives you diabetes and tooth decay. It would rhyme though.
It works. On phoning the handwritten number, Salavlis was greeted by a woman's voice. He promptly requested.
It's a handwritten number. Of course, it was handwritten. He didn't have a typewriter in the car, did he?
Well, it depends what sort of car he had. I mean, I have seen cars with
Probably like a Lincoln Continental. I can see him in.
Yeah, that's quite a nice one actually. What about Fiat Tipo or
Actually, they had him in like 74 in Long Island.
Fiat Punto? But do we know this guy was from this world of existence already? We don't know that. Was he
Well,
from
you
this?
started the story by saying it was in Long Island, isn't it? Like 74, 75, didn't he?
But the actual guy, the guy who picked him up, had he come from another dimension? You have to think of that. What do you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
You know, he could have come from 1989. We just don't know.
Pick it up and I called the number. Jimmy's Bar. Oh, I said, well, can I speak to Mr. Cullen, please? Oh, Mr. Cullen, just a minute. Woman gets on the phone.
Who's calling?
Hi, may I speak to Mr. Cullen, please?
He's not here.
When do you expect him?
Who is this?
I says, well, I was with Mr. Cullen last night. He gave me this telephone number, and he said I could reach him here. She says,
Look, you son of a bitch. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about my husband, and he's been dead for 2 years.
Oh, Christ.
It eventually
What a surprise.
Yeah, it eventually transpired that the woman at the end of the line was the late driver's widow, and after some deliberation, Salavlis eventually managed to arrange a meeting with the lady. Salavlis showed the woman the scrap of paper which bore the telephone number and the name of the spectral driver. The handwriting appeared to match very much so with that of the deceased. He also discovered the gentleman had shot himself in the throat, which may have explained why the ghost spoke with such a high-pitched accent.
the clothes I described were the clothes he was buried in. The piece of paper that he gave me signed James Cullen. She brought a letter that he wrote her when he was in the Army. It had Jimmy on that. Outside of that, the signature is identical. There was only one thing that was different. I said he had a high voice. She said, oh, no, she said. He had a deep voice like yours. Oh. Then it meant he killed himself. This way, right through the voice. Blocks, whatever. Anyway, this story happened to a guy like me, and as I say, it's been haunting me now close to 40 years.
So that's the first part of today's journey, Mike. Telly Salavlis and a ghost. How do you feel about that? You know, earlier on you
Well,
mentioned...
when these ghosts always come back when there's some physical ailment, like he's been shot in the throat, you've got a squeaky voice.
Yeah.
But also, it's hard to stop beating at some point. It's hard to. He's back. You know, he's back. If he's back being a ghost,
Yeah.
Why is his voice bad? Why isn't everything else just as it was?
I think it's something to do with the sort of the initial moment of death. The physical state you're in will stay. So, for example, you I know in hot weather you have a lot of problems wiping. If you were on the toilet and you were getting flustered and you're trying to get rid of all that yellow build-up that you mentioned sometimes happens.
You get, yeah. my anus, I've said before, you could eat dinner off it. It's spotless.
I mean, the things you told me before, 45 minutes, 2 rolls of paper. Scratched to death, you said.
Not me, mate.
Scratched to death. You said, I'm never using that tracing paper.
We've shared enough rooms. Mate, we shared a room in the White Line Hotel in Bala.
Yes. Where
the toilet was next to the bed.
And
there was no partitioning wall.
35 minutes you were scrubbing away trying to get that, that smudge out. Look at it, you said. And I just sat there. I had to give you half a copy of The Sun. Do you remember? Because you got through all the paper.
I was reading the wine list and you read the menu and everyone was happy.
I think you'll find the only reason you didn't use the wine list to wipe was because it was laminated. You said, that's no good, it's smudging everywhere.
I think all you'll find, mate, casting mind back that particular trip away, I was quite happy to stay there because I'm not a snob.
Yeah.
You pulled the celebrity card and demanded to move rooms to a room that didn't have a toilet next to the bed.
Which was great because the room that they gave us then had a toilet at the end of the bed. It was a small single room at the top, which was fantastic. But regardless of the wiping issues, what I'm saying here is the moment you die is how your spirit, your ghost will be imprinted on the physical world. You know, say if you did die over wiping, you would roam the streets with some toilet paper in your hand, moaning, "It hurts, it's stinging, it itches." You'd say that over and over again. But in a sort of, it hurts, it's stinging, it itches, over and over again. You know, that's just one example. So, you know, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how I'm meant to feel about it, really.
Okay. But I mean, that's fine.
That is.
This isn't the only celebrity that's been involved with the paranormal.
Is that the story? That's the whole story. That's the top and bottom of it.
That's just the beginning. I'm about to take you on a journey of my body.
That is the whole of the Telly Salavlis story, though.
Yeah. I mean, but he had a lift with someone, and they gave him some money to.
And
get.
Where do you write this down? Was this in his words, or was this?
Well, it's actually a full interview with him.
Well, I'm a huge Telly Salavlis fan, so this is. I'm confused now.
Let's just say you're a believer, and I've got more evidence that we can go further into. Name some other celebrities that you like. Perhaps let's have a little think.
Burt Reynolds.
Keep going. Let's just have a think. Some other celebrities you might like.
Elvis Presley.
Keep
Tom
going.
Selleck.
Try
Lewis Collins.
one beginning with the letter S. That's a woman. Selena
Scott.
Selena Scott. Yes. Now that's amazing because I've actually got a story about Selena Scott here being played by the undead. Are you ready for this?
Selena Scott of Posh Totty BBC News fame.
Yeah, former BBC presenter and one-time Sunday Post reporter, which is where I'm getting this information from. Selena Scott revealed how her house has been plagued by ghostly goings-on. The 64-year-old is sure her kitchen in her 15th century farmhouse in Yorkshire is haunted.
I knew she'd have something like that. I can see her in a 15th century farmhouse.
There's no way that Selena Scott
She's proper posh.
Yeah, she's not going to live in a red row estate, like a new build.
No
you know,
way.
Even if she's got 2 cars, she's not living on just like she's going posh, you know.
She's not on a wimpy with a shared garden, is she?
No, she wants to keep you. I mean, I imagine she voted Brexit. She's one of them. She wants to keep everybody out. I mean, I can't.
I mean, that's hugely
Libelous, yeah.
Slanderous. Like, I'm not sure. I'm never sure which is which.
Yeah.
But, just like to say, for the purposes of legal defence.
Yeah.
That you said that as a joke, and that we have no reason to believe that Selena Scott did vote Brexit or doesn't like foreigners.
But I have heard rumours she does dress as John Bull and parade around her house with a shotgun, saying strangers out. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much I can clarify if that's real or not. But apparently she's got 2 bulldogs, and she quite often goes drinking on the Yorkshire moors, just firing guns at trees and stuff. That's what I've heard.
Like a rollerball.
Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things. Talking of which, the dogs, the spooks.
Very attractive lady.
Selena Scott, even dressed as John Bull with the sideburns on as well.
Yeah,
really?
No problem.
Would you go on a date with her dressed as John Bull with sideburns on?
Yeah.
Where do you go, like a posh Italian restaurant or just a chain?
She wouldn't like that, would she? I'd take it like fish and chips, probably. Something.
I dare you to contact her and ask her out for a meal on the internet.
All right.
I'll give you 150 quid if she goes. If she goes to Nando's with you, 200 quid. Dressed as John Bull.
You give me 200 quid if I can take Selena Scott to Nando's dressed as John Bull.
No, this is the deal, right? You've got to contact Selena Scott and you've got to say, "Hi, Selena, I'm a big fan. I think you're great. I love your work. I don't believe what they say about you, but on the off chance, would you dress as John Bull with the sideburns and come out for a meal with me? No hanky-panky, no funny business, just a meal." Yeah, I'm paying. What do you reckon?
Yeah, give it a go, innit?
So I'll give you 200 quid if she says...
What's the worst you can say?
No. But I'll give you 200 quid if she says yes. In fact, I'll pay for the meal.
Well, I'd rather have the 200 quid because the meal would be less than that.
Where are you going for the meal?
Nando's, you said, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, Nando's. So you get 2 meals for, 30 quid?
40 quid odd.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a bottle of wine. Can you get wine in Nando's?
I think you can, yeah. So...
Get a nice bottle. Well, not a nice bottle of wine, but get a decent bottle of wine.
Yeah, decent bottle of wine. That's cool. And
2 nice chicken meals.
400 quid
sauce for me.
400 quid if you dress up as John Bull as well at the same time.
Well, I do that anyway to make her feel less self-conscious.
Okay. And you take 2 bulldogs with you as well?
I'd have to borrow the bulldogs, but yeah, no problem.
But she's got 2, Kiki and Nip. The dogs who refused to go into the kitchen alone. A guest stayed in the bedroom above her kitchen, and told her they'd heard whispering all through the night. Selena said she had to call in a priest who deals in the supernatural, but she isn't the only famous face to get a bad case of the heebie-jeebies after an encounter with an otherworldly entity. Who else do you think, Mike, from the world of showbiz?
Is that it? That's not the end of the Selena Scott story?
Yeah.
There's nothing in it. You just said the dogs don't like going in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Could be a fucking... Could be any number of reasons why they don't like that.
I think the only way you're going to really find this out is if you get in contact with her, ask her to dress as John Bull.
Well, I wouldn't say Selena Scott's two bulldogs not going in the kitchen is a sign of ghostly goings on, would you? At least Telly Salavlis had a bit of credence to his story.
But I mean, you don't know the reasons. Most dogs will go into a kitchen. We know this. But I mean, is it possible that you could contact her now? You could Google, maybe she's got a...
Well, I'll probably have to get in touch with her agent, won't I? I'll get my agent to speak to her agent and see if she fancies going to Nando's.
Okay. I mean, you could...
And dressing up like John Bull with sideburns. Do
you think she's on LinkedIn? Is it possible you could go on LinkedIn now and just get a number from that? And then, ask her if she'll dress up as John Byrne with this...
I mean, I did join LinkedIn at one point, but I couldn't work out how it worked, so I just didn't use it.
I think to be on LinkedIn, what you have to do is you have to sort of work as an estate agent, and then you just have to brag about sort of having a Porsche. And I think that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I used Instagram for.
Yeah. Any good?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I've just put pictures of all my cars up there and stuff and show off and stuff.
That's cool. Are you an estate agent as well? Because you should take...
No, I'm not, but...
Right, yeah.
But I do, if my house looks nice, it's just been cleaned. I might put a picture of my house up there. Or
yeah.
If my trousers look nice or if my hair looks nice that day.
Yeah.
I might put a photograph on Instagram.
Do you ever do ones where it's you like in a paddling pool? Like having M&Ms dropped on top of you or anything like that?
I don't, because there's never, I don't think there's a market for it, but I could be wrong.
Like I could pour milk on you and M&Ms.
I mean, some of the shit I've seen on there is incredible.
Yeah,
and
shocking.
TikTok, the same.
Yeah. Disgusting. Yeah. Back to the celebrities.
I saw a bloke today called The Beast, who's got his own various YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And just seems to spend a fortune doing giveaways and stuff. And then obviously he's making money off the company he's doing the giveaways. So
yeah. What sort of giveaways is he doing?
Well, it's like, fucking run on this jewellery shop with a trolley, whatever you get in the trolley in 30 seconds, I'll pay for it all. It'd be like 50 grand's worth of, necklaces and nipple rings and stuff.
Can anyone enter this?
I think you got to like and subscribe from what I can gather. Smash
the like button. Yeah, smash the like button. That's what it's all about.
To it. And he had one I saw today was 2 cars under a cover, but one was a car.
Yeah.
I believe it was a mini estate or Mini Cooper.
Right.
The other one was entirely made of super noodles.
No way.
And they let the woman choose which car. She went for the one that she thought was the better car, and it was the super noodle car.
How did she drive it off?
Well, she couldn't. It was just made of super noodles.
Gutted.
And there's another fella there that he said, do you want this 38 grand ring, or do you want to have this check? You don't know what the check's for. And he quite rightly said, I'll take the 38k, because you never know, do you? And the check was 100 grand. 100k.
38k is not bad, though, I mean, I'd do that. Would you do the ring, take it down cash converters, get about 4 grand for it straight off.
Yeah.
Go out for a drink with the lads.
If you're down there, see if you can find my fucking golf clubs as well.
Stolen recently?
Yeah, I mentioned on my other podcast that I got my clubs nicked by a kindly local ne'er-do-well.
Oh dear, how did
if you are in a...
Did they smash your car and get them out, or...?
Out of the boot of the car, yeah.
Gutted.
And they were good enough to take the clubs and the bag and the shoes and everything else. It was all,
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
to be fair to them, they left a bag of second-hand cricket balls in there, so... Obviously,
what were you doing with the bag of second-hand cricket balls?
Taking my son to cricket.
They didn't put them in there because they wanted to leave something in exchange.
It wasn't like some sort of enforced no lemon swap shop. It was.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
My golf clubs and the bag of cricket balls in the boot, and they left the cricket balls there. Or he.
I think what we need is discipline here.
It is a he. It is a he. It's a.
Did he leave some of his? Did he leave his seed on the back seat or something?
No, he didn't just on my car or anything. He just nicked my golf clubs.
How do you know it was a he for definite? Then?
Well, I've been told that it's almost certainly a particular person.
Maybe a vigilante gang to be formed?
No. I mean, I'm beyond that sort of thing. If it happened to me 10 years ago, I'd have been, proud on this. Oh, well, John, in my shoulder pads and a crossbow, but those days are gone.
Yeah, calm down a bit more now.
Yeah.
Not as angry. Yeah.
I'm much more pragmatic these days.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Back to the celebrities and the world of the paranormal, Mike. We've gone through some of your favourite celebrities. Famous leaders throughout history. Can you name who do you say your famous leader of choice would be? Your ultimate
Pol Pot.
Maybe
Stalin.
a bit closer to home. Bit closer to home.
Khrushchev.
Bit more
Benjamin Franklin.
bit more UK based.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Winston. No, a bit more UK. Winston.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Begins with W. Winston. Think of he's overweight and he's dead.
Cyril Smith.
He's overweight and he's dead. Try and channel it now.
Overweight and dead.
Yeah.
And a leader.
Your leader. World War II.
King George. Churchill.
Yes.
I mentioned Churchill ages ago.
I didn't. I obviously cut out for that bit. But yes, Winston Churchill, well done.
Loads.
Well done.
Thank you.
What do you know about Winston?
I was very specific. I said Churchill, 39 to 45 only.
Right.
Because I think he was a bad bastard before and after. But he was the man for the job in the war.
You're probably right there. It might have seemed unflappable, but the British PM never liked sleeping in Abraham Lincoln's old room when he visited the White House and frequently asked to be moved. He was right to be jittery, Michael, because on one visit during World War II, he claims he emerged naked from his evening bath, smoking his customary cigar. Imagine that now. Imagine that. You are. Yeah. Imagine that.
I imagine he must have had a right head rush smoking a cigar in a bath.
Bright red, ruddy-cheeked, both sets, top and bottom. Incredibly dizzy. Probably been drinking all day.
He drank all day, every day.
Yeah. He's absolutely battered.
And had nothing but like the finest food and pate.
By all accounts, just cheese. Just that cheese constantly. Smoking cigars.
Cheese, pate and meat.
Getting absolutely...
Smoking cigars non-stop and drinking champagne, brandy and whiskey all day, every day.
Yeah, in the bath, going to America.
And living to 90.
During the height of a war, he's in the bath doing this, getting mashed. Yeah. Gets out of the bath naked. Who does he find? A ghostly Abraham Lincoln sitting by the fireplace.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Imagine that. And imagine you're Churchill now. You're naked. You're smoking a cigar. You're just eating 3 pounds of cheese.
Never in the field of human conflict, as so might be known by so many to so few.
Welcome, my children.
Abraham, I'd like to thank our American cousins for helping defeating the Nazis.
Oh, hi there, Mike. I'm Abraham Lincoln. I've got to say, your cheese is fantastic. I'm talking about the stuff you're eating and the stuff that you're, placed between your legs. It looks fantastic.
Abraham, now I know for a fact that you're a very educated man and very well-read man. So, well, why on earth are you talking like you're a hillbilly from the southern states?
You have to understand, Mike, I have certain ways I like to act in front of people. But when I'm at home by myself, I like to sit by the fire.
Human conflict, as someone sounded so foolish for so long.
Yeah. I just want to say, I just want to come in the bedroom and see you naked with your cheese hanging out. I want to make some time, spend some time with you, Mike. Let you know that...
Right, I don't think Abe Lincoln speaks like that or wants to see Winston Churchill's cheese hanging out.
How do you know that, though? How do you actually know that? Have you ever heard Abraham Lincoln speak?
No one alive has. But
have you ever had a bath?
And there's no recordings of it. But I know where he was from. I knew what his education was like.
Yeah, from the deep south. Yeah, and he spent a lot of his time hanging around bathrooms. Baths.
Who did? Was him doing the four score and 7 years ago? Our forefathers came across the prairies. That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Abe Lincoln.
Hey there, everybody! I just want to say that 40 and whatever many years ago, I was interested in sitting by the fireside, waiting for somebody called Winston Churchill. Now, this man was a great, great leader. You understand? But he had
You
a
sound like
great
Bill
love.
Clinton, but what if Bill Clinton was sucking a helium balloon?
He had a great love of cheese. And I knew it was my role in life to wait many years.
Can you say
to
I
get a
didn't have
position of
sexual relations
power.
with that woman?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. But I can assure you, I did spend time watching Winston Churchill bathing in my own bath, smoking a cigar, with both sets of cheeks getting mighty red and ruddy, thin network of veins in his nose and face starting to burst out.
I'm just wondering why Abe Lincoln's suddenly on the fucking Dukes of Hazzard, that's all.
Well, it's what I do, Mike. I make sure that people
Just a
are
good
mighty
old
welcome.
boy, never meaning no harm, beats all you ever saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
Now you just lie back and let me take a photograph of you from my ghostly photograph collection, and I'll just be leaving the White House just as soon as you put your bathrobe back on. How's about that sound?
You're
That's
talking
right.
to Winston Churchill again, now,
I'm talking to Winston Churchill, yeah. Just channeled him. Just channeled him. Moving on.
So is that gone, is it?
Celebrities.
Another
That
one
story's
done, is it?
done. That story's done, yeah. That one's really
me.
classic.
But sorry, you're making me swear now. Do these have an ending?
Well, let's just say, who's your favourite female
Is there a
singer?
resolution to any of these?
I'm just about to get to a very big one. A very big one. Who's your favourite singer of the past 10 years? Female, American, comes out of America, is a woman.
My favourite female American singer of the last 10 years.
The one you've got all the albums of, the posters, the T-shirts. You've been to see live 4 times.
Like Sheryl
one
Crow, but she was longer than 10 years ago.
Yeah. The one you
Went to see
really
Pink
love.
last year. That was really good.
Yeah. Who's the other one that you love? You've got all the stuff by her. Absolutely love her. You learn all the words to all the songs. Remember? Absolutely
Britney
loved
Spears.
her.
Christina Aguilera. Lady Gaga.
Yes, that's the one. Funnily enough, I've got a story about Lady Gaga right here, Mike.
Well,
How
good,
do you
that's
feel about
good,
that?
yes. Yeah.
Reported, here we go. Your favourite singer. This is working well. It was reported in 2010 that quirky singer
I
Lady
woke
Gaga
up with an erection once next to a Lady Gaga.
Really? What happened?
She said, please be very careful. Do you know why?
Yeah.
She was wearing a poker face.
Ah, I see what you did there,
So
because
that's a
the phallus is
poker
quite
face.
long, and it would line in a bed. It
Yeah.
would come up to head height, because it's
Yeah,
over,
it could do.
what, it's nearly 5 foot long on a stiff. Is that right?
My phallus?
Yeah.
No. It's just average length phallus.
It's not 5
Don't
foot
believe
long on a
everything reading the
stiff.
papers. No.
Okay.
About 7 inches.
7 foot.
No, it's not 7 foot long.
You want to be careful.
That's like the old my
was
friend Billy
reports-
had a 10-foot willy and showed it to the girl next door.
She thought it was a
She thought
snake.
it was a snake. Hit it with a rake, and now it's only 3'4", which is still very long.
Incredibly long, but of course there'd be no head on the end. It would just be dripping blood and some veins.
Only 3'4". It's only
Yeah.
3'4".
Yeah.
Wow.
Never mentioned the width
Imagine having
once in
sex
that.
with the bloke who said, "Listen, don't worry, it's only 3'4" long."
But the end's been ripped off by a rake.
Over a yard of dick.
Yeah, but the head has been ripped off.
Well, yeah, and that's
So it's just sort of festering scab.
There's no glands.
Yeah, it's just a festering scab.
There's just a fucking. It's just a stump.
It's just
over yard long stump.
A yard
of
long-
what used to be my penis.
now that is a way to get traffic.
And when I piss, it goes everywhere.
You will never guess what this man's yard long stump looks like. Click here now. That's how I'd get traffic on the internet. Anyway, it was reported in 2010 that quirky.
But imagine standing next to him at a urinal.
Well, you have to.
Two things. One is you'd be staggered by the size
Yeah.
of it. But two, it would go everywhere, wouldn't it?
Also, I think what you'd have to do, because there's a scab on the end, you'd have to sort of pick a bit of scab off to make the hole for the weed to come out. Then he'd have to stuff the scab back into the hole, which would be
Shut up,
would
John.
be pretty shocking.
That's too much.
I mean, I think the whole conversation's pretty rank, so you might as well just go, full depth. Anyway, Lady Gaga reported in 2010 that quirky singer spent £3,000 on electromagnetic field sweepers and other equipment to remove evil spirits and bad energy before her Monsters Ball concert in London. Gaga held a séance to get rid of the ghost, whose name is reportedly Ryan. A source from her tour explained, more than anything, the spirit is annoying her. He won't leave her alone. She's freaked out by his presence. The feeling The feeling may well be mutual. So that, again, another classic story there. How do you feel about that?
Christ. What, is this from the big book of almost stories?
You think that's pretty stunning? I mean, we've just spoken about a man who's ripped the end of his phallus off.
I don't.
Okay, well, this one will impress you. Who's your favourite Liverpool-based?
Why was Ryan a ghost? Had he had a bad romance?
They haven't quite gone into the details of that, but I'm quite sure
that's another joke about Lady Gaga.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just go through you.
I mean, there could be a million reasons, couldn't there? There could be a million reasons that it happened.
Yeah, but we don't really know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
I wonder if Ryan said to her, always remember us this way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still shocked thinking about
maybe even being born in a shallow grave.
You never know, do you?
No.
Okay, who's your favourite Liverpool-based female vocalist?
I wonder if when Ryan left, the paparazzi were outside the front door.
I mean, we don't know.
So she had to get on the telephone and phoned her friend Alejandro. She explained about Ryan, and Alejandro says to her, how can you see ghosts? She said, maybe I was just born this way.
Yeah, we just don't know, do we?
And then there's a lot of applause, and
that was it. I think I should move on to.
I mean, there's other songs you hear that I can't make anything out of them.
No, you could try.
One's, is that all right?
All right, then. How's about this? After they'd had the séance, maybe she turned to the priest and said, "Is that all right?"
Yeah. Or said to the priest, "Do what you want," and then he says, "Oh, Bloody Mary."
Yeah, that's good. Shall I just move on to the next one? Then?
Yeah, because I'm looking through the list on my phone. I can't think of any of the names.
Okay, that's right.
I only knew the one song, to be honest. I only knew Poker Face.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Can't read my something Poker Face.
Poker Face.
My poker face. My poker face.
Cilla Black, one of your favourite Liverpool-based singers.
Real name, Priscilla White.
Welcome to my world. Some of you remember us from that TV show called Surprise, Surprise, but it goes back a long way, much further than that. I'm a great friend of the Beatles, and I've been a friend of the Beatles for years, but they're all dead now. Cilla Black.
They're all dead.
And mostly all dead. There's a couple left. 50%
half of them
gone. The other two don't speak to us anymore anyway, because I'm dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter anymore, does it?
Yeah.
I'm up here with John.
Well, she can speak to... Well, if she was alive, she could speak to half the Beatles. And if she was dead...
She could speak to half the Beatles.
And there was an afterlife, she could speak to
If they cut her in half after she died, one half could have stayed down here to talk to the living ones, and the other half could have gone up to the World of Spirit to talk to the...
Yeah.
John,
that would mean...
You can't wait till Paul dies. You go up here and you can make some songs together, and I'll sing on them. She would have said something like that. Cilla Black.
Yeah, she does mention quite a bit that she met the Beatles.
You know what? I mean, that's pretty much all she did. She appeared on a couple of TV shows. The red-headed presenter claims that 4 times in 7 years she woke up in the night to find the figure of a young girl no more than 16 by her bed. She said, when it first happened in my drowsy state, when it first happened in my drowsy state, I thought one of the children had come into my bedroom. The second time, I knew it was a ghost. Talk about a creepy surprise. See what I did there? I got the title of her smashing TV show. So that's another one.
Yeah. What was the other one she did?
Blind Date.
Blind Date, wasn't it? Yeah.
That wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But
didn't she fall over on a balcony and how did she die?
I think she fell off of the mezzanine floor in a sort of kitchen on a holiday home in Spain. I think she took a tumble. And that was it. Game over. Gotta have a laugh though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Talking of Cilla Black, who's your favourite Liverpool-based 4-piece, Mike? Those cheeky chaps, those mad lads.
Jerry and the Pacemakers?
Not quite. Mad lads, 2 of them are dead, 2 of them are alive. It's just a couple of
The Lars?
No, these are a bit more famous. Haven't really made any songs for a while. Probably aren't going to make any songs because, as I said, two are dead. Two are alive. Very friendly with Cilla Black. She sometimes mentions them.
Yeah, the Beatles.
Guess what? Guess what happened to them?
John Lennon was assassinated by Mark Chapman, and George Harrison died of a liver cancer.
But I mean, on a supernatural.
Ringo Starr survives, and Paul McCartney survives.
On a supernatural.
Paul McCartney married a woman who was a photographer, and she died. She's just a vegetarian. They married a woman with one leg, and then they divorced.
On a supernatural tip, though, you know, more.
Oh, I have no idea about that stuff.
You're in luck. When Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney and George Harrison were recording Lennon's song Free as a Bird in 1995, they all sensed the playful spirit of John Lennon during the sessions. Paul McCartney said, there were a lot of strange goings on in the studio, noises that shouldn't have been there, and equipment doing all manner of weird things. There was just an overall feeling that John was around. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Does that...
Did John usually fuck with the?
I don't think he went any. He don't think he went.
That was his.
No, he didn't go anywhere. He didn't go anywhere near it. I mean, he just sat at the back growing his hair, didn't he? Did very little in the Beatles by all accounts.
Yeah, I was just lay in bed with his missus.
Lazy, absolutely.
Trying to solve world peace by not doing anything.
Lazy, incredibly lazy. Time waster, as far as I'm concerned.
Liverpool's quite a boring place on a Thursday afternoon.
Exactly.
That's what I think Ringo says that in Submarine. Something along those lines.
Quite good.
Liverpool can be quite a boring place on a Thursday afternoon.
This is John. For all the poor people, down the floor, clap your hands. But all the rich people at the shop, shake your jewellery. It's like that. You had a voice like that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
I can only really do Ringo because Ringo's got quite a low voice and he talks quite that a bit. You know what I mean? He sounds like the boy from. The fella from Liver Birds.
Very much so. It was more like that, wasn't he? Like, I'm Ringo. Welcome to my world. I'm John. I got more of a voice like that.
You're dancing.
I'm John. I'm a bit of the cheeky one.
You're dancing.
Because who's asking?
You're dancing.
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
Look at that. Perfect. Moving on. Hollywood.
You dancing. Who's asking? I'm asking. I'm dancing. Liver Birds. Neris Hughes.
Yes. Lovely.
I was in a read-through with her once.
Any good?
For a sitcom. She was good.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, she was good. She was good company. I sat between her and Ruth Maddock. It was a very strange.
Oh, lovely.
Day.
I love Ruth Maddock. Great stuff.
Yeah. I like that. I came on the train back with Ruth as well. She was lovely.
Lovely. That's a lovely story, actually. Almost as big budget as...
Nurse Gladys Emanuel, of course, from Heidi High.
Yes, which was a classic TV show. We've all seen them before.
Jeffrey. Yeah.
Do you like...
And she wouldn't say Jeffrey for me.
Did you ask her?
Yeah. I asked her.
And she said no.
Yeah, she said she'd rather not.
Okay. Hollywood movies, Mike. You love your celebrities. Your favourite actor, of course, is star of The Matrix, Keanu Reeves. You're a big fan. You've got all the posters. You've got the T-shirt.
Huge.
You've seen all the films.
Fan,
which is your favourite Matrix film?
Point Break. Brilliant.
Yeah, Point Break's a great film. Guess.
The Matrix, I like the one when he's the big stone balls following him down the alleyway and he's running away from it.
Indiana Jones and the Stone Balls.
Oh yeah, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you never guess. You never guess what happened to Keanu Reeves as a young boy. Do you want to hear?
No.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I was living in New Jersey when I saw and felt this ghost. I remember just staring at this.
New Jersey, John.
How you doing, Mike? How you doing? I got it.
Hey, I'm from New Jersey, okay?
I gotta tell you.
You got a problem with that text?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, Mike, but I gotta tell you that Keanu Reeves saw a freaking ghost in New Jersey as a young boy.
You don't come down here to the Jersey Shore and tell me how to live my life.
What are you doing? What's wrong with you, Frank? I don't know, but I just went out there and I saw Keanu Reeves looking white as a sheet and he saw a freaking ghost eating a hot dog. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Take your pants off. I was living in New Jersey when I saw and felt this ghost. I remember just...
Why is everyone always going to take their pants off? You fucking knob.
I was living in New Jersey when I saw and felt this ghost. I remember just staring at the suit, which had no body or legs, as it came into the...
He's turning to Christian Walken now, is he?
I was living in New Jersey when I saw and felt this ghost. I remember just staring at the suit, and it had no body or legs, and came into the room before
Uncomfortable hunk of metal.
disappearing. It was double-breasted. It was white, and I looked at my nanny, who was just as shocked as me. I still see the figure in my dreams, but I never saw it again outside of my dreams. What do you think of that? Keanu Reeves seeing a ghost in a white suit.
I think the expression's bang on. I think you're an idiot.
Who's your favourite Bond?
The name's
Well, then
Roger
I've
Moore.
got something for you, Mike, because guess who's seen a ghost called Roger Moore? Guess. Roger Moore.
Sean Connery.
The former James Bond was left shaken and stirred one night when he awoke with a feeling someone was in the room. He said...
The name's Roger Moore.
He said, lying there with the light of the moon coming through the window, I saw a misty substance floating across the bed. I was rigid with fright.
Yeah.
Do it in the Roger Moore voice.
Is it him?
Yeah.
He's saying this, is he? Lying there in the misty light, I saw...
A misty substance floated across the bed.
I saw a misty substance floating across the floor because my name is Roger Moore.
When it disappeared...
The name's Roger Moore. I can't do it. I can't keep it going.
Just do a Scottish accent. Just do a...
Try not to laugh at you doing...
Just do a Scottish accent.
That's Sean Connery.
Just do Sean Connery.
Just like a wop to bring a knife to a gunfight. That one.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And that's not me being racist.
No.
That is a line from The Untouchables.
That is true. Basically, Roger Moore looked at his watch, saw it's precisely 2 a.m. the next night at the
He
scene.
sticks one of yours in the hospital, you stick one of his in the morgue. And that's the Chicago way.
Is that
That's when he plays an Irish cop with a Scottish accent.
classic casting? What?
He brings a knife, you bring a gun. He puts one of yours in the hospital, you put one of his in the morgue. And that's the Chicago way.
Is that it?
You know. Name's Roger Moore. I can do my Sean Connery voice better because all I can do as Roger Moore is the name's Roger Moore.
Just do Sean Connery. And basically, all you've got to say is you lay in bed, you saw a misty white substance, you were stiff.
I was laying in bed and I saw a misty white substance come across the bed. I thought, what's that? And suddenly I realised I was stood next to my good friend Roger Moore. I said, who is that? And he said, the name's Roger Moore.
I was lying in bed when suddenly Roger Moore came in and sprayed some liquid over me. I was afraid, then realised it was the ghost of Roger Moore, so it was fine. I didn't even have to wipe it off. Our home help told me to leave a Bible opened at the 23rd Psalm on my bedside table. Reluctantly, I agreed to do that and try one more night.
The Lord's my shepherd, I shall not want. She makes me to lie down in green pastures. She restoreth my soul. Yea, though I walk through the shadow of death. I can't do it. All I can say is the name's Roger Moore. So if there was a psalm where King David just said that,
You could do it.
like the 87th psalm, then I'll be away.
Just try and say any prayer in the style of Roger Moore. I mean, do you know any decent prayers?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. No, I'm going into Alec Guinness.
Yeah,
I can
that's
feel
okay.
going into
Though.
Alec Guinness,
That's fine. I think you know.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Oh, yeah, see?
Not bad.
Jehovah. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time.
That's
Very
good.
long time.
That's good.
The name's Roger Moore. I'm good at doing short little bits of people.
Mike Bubbins, I'm good at doing short little bits of people. That's a quote.
Mike Bubbins, brief impressionist. That's my new career.
That's good.
Come on, imagine going on and just doing my name is Roger Moore and walking off again. You've been in makeup for 3 hours. Prime time, Saturday night on ITV. I walk out, side parting, little Walther PPK.
Yeah.
Lovely sort of tanned safari suit, sort of Spy Who Loved Me era.
Yeah.
Walk out there, everyone goes wild, and I just go, the name's Roger Moore, and then walk off again.
And that's it, done.
Come back in, 2 hours time, more makeup, just go, there'll be one Kenobi. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time. A very long time. Done.
You could do Ringo as well.
2 hours later. 2 hours later. 2 hours. Liverpool's got a boiling place on Thursday afternoon. Boom. Done.
That's a TV show.
Yeah. I'm telling you what. Fucking David, bite your hand off for this.
I think you should have a word with someone.
David, bite your hand off.
Back to this, Mike. Who's your favourite member of the royal family? Think of who's the best one.
Name's Prince Philip.
Nearly. It's a lady. It's a lady. The one you love. You got all the posters and you got the books.
Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth
You've got
II.
all the posters and the books. It is the Queen. Even the royals are said to have seen creepy apparitions. The Queen is reported seeing the ghost of John Brown in a corridor and feeling his presence. Brown is one of the most popular ghosts of Balmoral Castle and has been seen by others walking around the castle. He's said to always be wearing his...
He's the fellow with Billy Connolly played him.
That's
in the
right,
film,
Billy
with
Connolly.
Judi Dench.
I've got to tell you, I got to play the role of John Brown, and it was...
Who's that blue bastard on the veranda?
It was brilliant. I got to play John Brown for quite a while. And whilst I was doing it, I realised I'd taken my pants off and I'd not put my kilt on. My entire cock and balls were hanging out, and I'd not noticed it until halfway through the shoot, and they said, Billy, your cock and balls are hanging out. I said, don't worry. And they filmed it, and the whole thing went to Hollywood, and I made £1 million. Brilliant.
Then play a banjo and fuck off.
Another royal resident at Windsor is perhaps the most haunted of all the monarch's palaces, with as many as 25 ghosts reported. The ghost of Elizabeth I has been seen by several members of the royal family, including the Queen. That's the Queen. Oh. Moving on to your next. Who's your favourite British pop star who used to be in Take That called Robbie Williams? You've got all the posters, you've got the books, you've got all the CDs.
Robbie, innit? Got to be Robbie. Stokes' finest.
Yes, Robbie Williams. Well, let me tell you, Mike, there was a double whammy of celebrity supernatural shenanigans when singer Robbie Williams saw a ghost whilst living in former Beatles drummer Ringo Starr's Los Angeles house. Do the voice.
Liverpool give you quite a boiling place on a Thursday afternoon.
He said, when I moved out, the removal men wouldn't go in because of the old lady sitting in the chair. Ringo's son, Zach Starkey, said, do the voice.
Zach Starkey. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time. Very long time.
And Zach said, I hear you in my old place. He asked if he'd seen the children in the garden and the old lady, who he said, I never saw the kids, but the old lady kept cropping up. So we're ploughing through this now. We're really getting through this list of celebrities that you love that have all, witnessed the paranormal. Who's your favourite ex-teacher who became a singer with a band called The Police called Sting? You've got all the CDs, you've got the albums, you've got the T-shirt.
Gordon
Sting.
Sumner.
Just...
Do you know what they call him? Sting?
And just say Sting to clarify.
Because...
he wore a stripy jumper.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. So,
do the high bit.
Put on the red light.
Do the high bit.
What do you mean?
Do the high bit.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Something. She's a prostitute, isn't she?
Former police singer claimed he once came face to face with a ghost which wandered into his room in the dead of night. In a Radio 2 interview, he said, I would never have said I believe in ghosts until I saw one, and I've seen a ghost with my own eyes. Right. I was in bed one night in a very old house I used to live in.
Said, don't stand.
And I woke at 3 a.m.
Don't stand so close to me. Yeah.
I looked into the corner and I thought I saw Trudy standing there with her child in her arms, staring at me. I then reached next to me and there was Trudy.
Right.
What do you think of that?
We talked to a bloke before about this, remember? When we did that show, This Is Not Based On.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said that one of the least reliable senses in the human body is the sense of sight. It's the fact that it's a very, very common sighting is seeing people at the foot of a bed, especially when you wake up. And it's just because with the brain basically having a waking dream, essentially.
So that's...
Well, what is sight? It's only light, isn't it? It's only a brain making sense of light waves. So, in the absence of light, brain can make its own waves, I suppose. Interpret its own information and just make you see whatever you want to see. Yeah.
So we're saying, for example, if the ghost of Elvis Presley was to walk into the room now and you spent half an hour with him chatting, enjoying some time with him, but then what if nobody believes you because you've just said sight is not reliable? No. Yeah. And you get him in like once a week or?
Ideally, yeah. Come in and, Well, I should sit down. Thank you very much. I'd sit down.
Yeah.
And then I'd sit and listen to him and he'd go, "You've been a fantastic audience." I said, "Yeah, well, thanks, Al."
Would you sing to him or would he sing to you?
I'd sing a song back to him in his style and see what he thought.
In the ghetto or something like that?
Yeah.
As
the snow flies on a cold and grey Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
Lovely.
See what he thought of it, And I like to think he'd think it was good.
Yeah.
And we'd probably become best mates.
Yeah. What would you do with him? Take him out and stuff?
Just hang out with him. Listen to his stories. Listen to it. Be a proper friend. Like he never had a proper friend, did he? He always had hangers on.
Would you get the lads round to look at him and stuff?
I don't want you for your money, mate. You're dead. You haven't got any cash.
Yeah.
I don't want you for your money. I don't want you to advance my career. I just want you to sit your ghostly ass on that couch and me and you sing a couple of songs and hang out together and be friends. And I might even give Tom Jones a ring, get him down here because you were mates back in the day as well.
But I mean, Tom Jones is alive, so how would you get him in?
Yeah, well, I know Tom was alive. Like Tom would sort of come down, to the house and spend some time, with me and the king.
And what would you do? Me and the guys.
Well, I say to Elvis, as a friend, I'd say, listen, Elvis, sing a couple of like a duet, for Mike, and he'd love it. And he's right. I would love it. Thank you, Tom.
I'm happy.
See, my Tom Jones is not too bad.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do the whole thing like that from now on.
The name's Roger Moore.
I don't understand how come every time you try to do a voice, it ends up being 3.5 seconds long, and then you walk away as if you've done the whole shebang.
Well, I can keep up the Tom Jones for quite a bit longer, Chris.
And it's great. I love it.
It's just the inflection of the voice, So, because I'm originally from Pontypridd in the Welsh Valley, so. And I knew Elvis, he's a mate of mine, he's a friend. So I met them all, I met Sammy Davis, I met Frank Sinatra, I met all the great entertainers at the time, so very, very special.
Not one of those guys ever got to show you his inner ghost, his inner spirit. But now you get the chance to see anyone you like, dead or alive, come into the room. Take the pants off. Take the pants off.
Go on.
And show you that 3-foot cheese, after it was cut in half with a rake, somebody was shocked by what they saw. Now it's just a scabbed mess in a public toilet.
What's this podcast about?
I don't know, but
What's it about?
The seed. It's about seeds. It's getting some seed out or something. Yeah. Well, I think we've gone through the list of all of your favourite celebrities, and I think I've convinced you there quite clearly that they have all seen ghosts. I think we can agree.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Yeah. I mean, do we stop now, or do we? What do we?
I think Telly Savalas, if that's I mean, that was straight from the horse's mouth, wasn't it?
I think that's
something worth considering.
Yeah, that's worth considering. And what about the rest?
The rest are mostly a pile of shit, aren't they?
Do you reckon? There's nothing in there.
No. I mean, the rest are very sort of 40 and Times Daily Sport, sort of, someone said something to somebody else. But to hear Telly Savalas himself say that happened.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not going to knock. If you want to knock Telly Savalas, you come to the wrong place.
Yeah, and I think there's something we can all agree on.
I'm a big Telly Savalas fan.
Telly Savalas has seen a ghost. All I can suggest for you now, Mike, is maybe get in your car tonight, drive out to a country lane and just wait. Maybe you'll get as lucky as Telly Savalas did. Somebody who shot himself in the throat might give you some money to get home.
Yeah. Well, hope springs.
Yeah. Hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
Good. The demon seed.
Walk up. You must be mistaken.
It's now, it's here. Come on down here and help with it.
Paranormal existence.
You mean to say you came here purposely?
The first move in the great conspiracy had been made.